Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. The Honorable Madam Fitria Rahmawati MPD as the first speaker, the Honorable Dr. Muhammad Taufik SSM Hum as the second speaker, the Honorable Dr. Maulina SPD MPD as the third speaker, the Honorable Olaf Committees Institute of Global Professionals, and my beloved ladies and gentlemen. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good evening, everyone, and Om Swastiastu. Welcome to our Institutions of Global Professionals free webinar. Thanks for joining with us in this wonderful evening and stay with us till the end. I am Windy Puspitasari Suparto from Graduate Program State University of Makassar, South Sulawesi, Indonesia, as the host webinar today and a member of Institutions Global Professionals. So, the first point, I will give you information about what is IGP. Ladies and gentlemen, as we know that IGP or Institute Global Professionals is an educational institution provide social work. We believe that it's not effective to increase one's skill just by acquiring formal education. Institutions of global professionals serve students and community research, providing holistic social work and education for create a proficient generation. So, we provide effective training and consultations to generate proficiency. We expect that you all guys getting a little bit benefit in personal and professional lives. So, ladies and gentlemen, I remind you, don't forget to share, comments, tag, or give suggestions this page because your attachment encourage us to do better and a best service to our lovely audience. Well, today we are presenting the webinar 119 entitled Research on English Language Teaching and Learning with three speakers. They are from Indonesia, namely for the first speaker by Madam Fitria Rahmawati, MPD, the second speaker by Dr. Muhammad Taufik SSM Hum, and the last speaker by Dr. Maulina SPD, MPD. So, ladies and gentlemen, for the first speaker is Madam Fitria Rahmawati MPD. As we know, she earned bachelor degree in English language teaching at State Pamekasan. It means that State Islamic Institute of Madura, or we can call IAIN Madura, 2008, and then graduate in 2012. She became a teacher in kindergarten. While teaching in kindergarten, she took her master degree program at the University of Islam, Malang, Indonesia, majoring English language teaching program and graduated at 2017. Now, she is currently a lecturer of English language teaching program at IAIN Madura, East Java, Indonesia. Besides teaching, she is also an editor in two national accredited journals. Wow. Her research interests are about ELT, teaching English to young learners, linguistics, and ICT for education. Amazing. Well, today we invite Madam Fitria Rahmawati MPD as the first speaker entitled Undergraduate Students' Belief on English Language Learning, Years of Learning Matter. So, ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm welcome to Madam Fitria Rahmawati MPD. Let's start our program with IGPs. Fit your skill. Okay. Hello, Madam.
Hello, Ibu.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Okay, take your time, Madam. Good luck.
Okay, thank you. Okay. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Dear all distinguished speakers, Ibu Maulina and Bapak Taufik, nice to see you. And all committees as well as all audiences of this seminar. Okay, first of all, I would like to send my deepest gratitude to Allah Subhanahu wa Taala for His blessings and mercy for us today, so I can attend this wonderful seminar. And secondly, I would like to say thank you to all committee for inviting me to the seminar entitled "Research in ELP English Language Teaching." Okay, let me start. Let me share the slide. Yeah, in line with research in English language teaching. In this case, I would like to share my research that has been conducted on 2020. Yeah, it is about students' belief. Okay. Okay. Sorry. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, my research that I would like to present here is about the belief on language learning, entitled "The Undergraduate Students' Belief on English Language Learning, Years of Learning Matters." Okay, belief here is regarded as a central construct in every discipline which deals with human behavior and learning. Yeah, the discussions about belief have received a lot of attentions from many researchers in recent years. Researchers found that L2 or foreign language learners come to the class with some preconceived ideas, preconceived opinion about language learning, and it will be it in the and it will indicate their expectations. Yeah, the goal that will be achieved during language learning, and it also reflects the actions. What will they do? What they will do during teaching learning process. Okay, many researchers have suggested that knowledge of learners' belief is a key element in effective learning, and it can be a predictor for the future behavior. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let's start the discussions of students' belief here by discussing what and why. What belief is and why we have to understand the students' belief. Okay, in this slide, I have actually this is not an operational definition of belief. It is some concept of belief from some expert. Yeah, in 1999, White said that belief help individuals to divine and understand the words and themselves, and they are instrumental in divining tasks and play a critical role in divining behavior. While, according to Cottrell, beliefs are considered as one area of individual learner differences that can influence the the process and the outcomes of learning. And Richardson say that belief as psychologically held understandings, premises, and propositions about the world that are held to be true. However, considering this concept or definitions by some experts, the term belief about language learning itself, were not clearly defined by researchers in the previous studies. Even Ellen Horwitz, as the pioneer of the study about belief in language learning, didn't give any operational definitions in her articles. She used to say the term preconceptions in 1985, and she used preconceived idea, preconceived notion, without giving descriptions about the construct of the belief itself. So defining belief is somewhat complex. Because of its complexity, it may be difficult to generate a set of meaning to be defined precisely. And this is an extensive list of words that reflects what beliefs are. Yeah, it can be, someone can say attitude, or someone say values, judgment, opinion, ideology, or perspective, or maybe perceptions. It depends on uh, their preference. Yeah. So let's talk about the investigations of the approach to investigate language learning about belief. Yeah, belief about language learning. Sorry. In this slide, I have provided you a three approach. Yeah, there are three approach of language learning belief. The first one is the normative approach, and the second one is the metacognitive approach, and the last is the contextual approach. In line with a normative approach, it is the leading figure of this approach is Ellen Horwitz, that developed Bali belief about language learning inventory. Yeah, it is a questionnaire. Yeah. So in the normative approach, the researcher inverts belief from a set of statement. Of statement here can be a questionnaire. Yeah, that a list of statement that reflects students' belief. And in this approach, according to this approach, belief is considered to be static and stable mental representations of the learners, and it can be a preconceived notion. While in the second types of approach, metacognitive approach, as its name, belief is considered as metacognitive knowledge. If in the normative approach, belief is examined from a set of statement or questionnaire, in metacognitive approach, beliefs of students are examined from self-reports and interview. So it will be more deep. Yeah, it will be deeper. And the next is contextual approach. If the normative and metacognitive use set of statement or self-report or interviews, but in the contextual approach, it combined all method. Yeah, it combined all method to interpret what students believe based on their own context. It can be classroom observation. So the instrument can be an ethnography, narratives, metaphor to investigate language learner beliefs. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is the assumptions, the relationship between beliefs and language learning. Based on its assumption, it says that success depends less on materials, techniques, and linguistic analysis, and more on what goes inside and between the people in the classroom. According to this assumption, Stafik said that what goes inside here includes a student's belief that in the end of the research, in the end of language learning, it will be it will bring about more or greater impact on students' achievement. Okay, are beliefs important? And why beliefs are important? Why understanding students' belief are important? This is the answer. Because how learners learn will reflect to some extent at least their beliefs about language learning. And second, learners need to be made aware of their beliefs and how these affect their learning. And last is the student be able to change their belief to make learning more effective. So from this research, it can be inferred that belief of the students is not fixed. The students' belief can change over time. It depends on the treatment that are applied or implemented by teacher or by lecturer in the classroom. Okay. At 1985, Horwitz developed the BALI, Beliefs About Language Learning Inventory, to assess students' opinion on a variety of issues and controversies related to language learning. In this case, Horwitz used terms opinion to reflect the students' belief. It consists of four major areas. The first one is language aptitude. The second one is communication strategies, the nature of language learning, difficulty in learning, and motivation as well as expectations. Okay, this is some items in, sorry, I have to skip to make time more efficient. Yeah. Okay. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I used to pay a little attention. Actually, I used to pay a little attention on students' belief. I used to focus on what the best strategy, what are the best techniques to improve student skill, to improve students' achievement, and I also thought about what media that are uh, suitable for my students. Of course, what I thought about is based on my own perceptions, based on my own perspective, not the student's perspective. So in this case, I try to open my eyes. I try to seek what the students believe, what are this what beliefs do students of ELT program at EIN Madura have about English learning. And the second questions of me myself is how does grade level affect learners belief about English language learning. So this is my questions. I propose these questions, and then I conduct several methods here. To answer that questions, I do quantitative research method. Yeah, the participants of the study, the population of the study is all students in English language teaching program of EIN Madura, and I took sample 140 students that consists of 93 first year students and 47 third year students. I choose this sample by using Slovene formula. While the instrument that is administered to the students is BALI. I adopt and modified the BALI, Belief About Language Learning Inventory, that was designed by Horwitz in 1987. While to collect the data, I use questionnaire. To collect the data, uh, I administer the questionnaire by using Google Form to the students, and from all data, the questionnaire that have been submitted, that have been filled, I choose 144 respondents randomly. Yeah. And then after collecting the data, I do data analysis. In this case, I do two steps of data analysis. The first one is descriptive data analysis, and the second one is comparative data analysis. Yeah, in descriptive data analysis is was implemented to see the frequency of each questions, yeah, percentage and mean rank. And in the comparative data analysis, I use man-with need test to see is there any difference between two groups. And the groups that I choose is the first year students and the third year students. Is there any significant difference on the students' belief to uh, yeah, is there any significant difference on students' belief among this between these two groups? Okay, in line with instrument, back to instrument, the belly here consists of this is the questionnaire of 5-point Likert scale. So there are five scale from agree. The students are hope to choose agree, sorry, strongly agree, strongly disagree, neutral or undecided, agree and strongly disagree. This is the finding. At least there are two findings of this research. Yeah, the first one is about the students' belief, the frequency, the percentage of the students' belief for each scale, and the second is the comparative, the result of the comparative study. Okay, here you are. This is the result of students' belief in terms of language aptitude. As I said in the previous slide, that how uh, belief on language learning consists of four major areas. The first one is language aptitude. Yeah, this is about the ability or the capability of the learners in understand or in learning a language. In this, it is consists of 10 items. And it is interesting to see that a majority of students state their agreement in some items. This is the first, the second, and so on. Yeah. For the first items, children is easier to learn English than adults. And the second, some people are born with a special ability which helps them to learn English. In this case, the students say their agreement more than half percent. And okay, this is interesting that people who are smart, students believe that people who are smart in math and science are getting difficulty in learning English. It is interesting to know why they have that belief. Yeah, and of these 10 items, 3 items are dominant in undecided, that they are neutral, the students neutral, whether agree or disagree. In terms of I have English language aptitude, and then woman is better than man in learning English, and Indonesian people are easy to learn English. Next, the next is about communication strategies. It can be yeah, from this finding, from the first item here, it is important to speak English with good pronunciation. Majority of students agree, yeah, about 70% agree. However, although they agree that the pronunciation is important in language learning, in speaking English, but it doesn't necessarily mean that all that bad pronunciations are prohibited to speak. Yeah, although students have not so good pronunciation, but yeah, they can speak English. They can learn English. They can try to speak English. And the high level of percentage of the agreement is on the item. Repeating and drilling is important in learning English. Okay. This is the next, yeah, the nature of language learning. This is the third major area of language learning belief. about of the students. Okay, we can see on the chart here that the highest percentage of the students' agreement is on vocabulary mastery. Many students, yeah, about 90% of the students, think that it is important in learning English to master in vocabulary. Yeah, so they have positive uh, perceptions that vocabulary is really important in speaking in learning English. We can look at the, yeah, we have to know English culture before learning English. It is how learning with the culture. The students have average rate, yeah, 30% disagree, 37 students neutral or undecided whether disagree or agree, and 33 students agree to this notion that learning English, learning the culture of the language is very beneficial. And okay, this is learning English is better done in English speaking countries. However, more than half students, about 62% students disagree about that. So it can be inferred that they think they can learn from many areas, not only in speaking countries. And this is the fourth component of belief of the students. Yeah, it is about the difficulty in learning. It is interesting to know that this item, I believe that finally I can speak English very well, gain a high percentage of agreement of the students. Yeah, in this case, the students, almost all students agree that finally they can speak English very well. Although they right now they are in different levels of English. And yeah, this is about the difficulty. Consists of 6 items. Several languages are easier to learn than others. Yeah, it consists of it reached 51% of undecided statement, and about, yeah, this is dominant too, that that the students uh, either agree or disagree about this notion that learning English is easy. And yeah, this is the high percentage of agreement is on if someone learn English an hour a day, she or he will speak English fluently in 1 year, 1 year to 2 years, and more than 3 years, more than 5 years, and never. Yeah, this is the options of the item. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is the last area of uh, the questionnaire. Yeah, motivation. It is about the belief of students in terms of motivation and expectations. In this case, consists of motivation and expectation area consists of 4 items. The first one is I speak English. I will have many chance to use the language, and I will easily get jobs. Speaking English is crucial for the students, for the global students, and I want to learn English so I know the speaker. This is about the motivation or the goals, the belief, the opinions about the students, what they will get after the learning of English. And it reached a higher percentage on agreement in all items. More than half students agree with this statement. However, a slight number of students state their neutrality, and only a few students state their disagreement about these items. Okay, so let's talk about the factor determining belief about language learning. based on the finding that I have presented in the previous slide, it can be inferred that the factors that determine the belief about language learning of the students is past experience of the students and personality. Personality can be the student's anxiety, inhibitions, and introvert or extrovert, and their own motivations. While past experience could be the educational process, the educational background of the students, and the course that are taken by them before come to the university. And along with past experience, for example, the students, for example, in this slide, let me show you. Okay, it's important thing in learning English is vocabulary mastery. It can be inferred that the students who have this belief, this opinion, it is because at the previous at the previous uh, at the previous education, they are treated by memorizing vocabulary by their teacher or their tutor. So they think that learning English is about memorizing vocabulary. Or, for example, in it is important thing in learning English is grammar mastery. Yeah, the most important thing, grammar mastery. Maybe they are uh, treat to memorize the grammar. Yeah, so it is not surprising if they have this belief that the most important thing in learning English is grammar mastery. So we can infer that the students' background knowledge, the students' background or educational background can be something that influence the students' belief about language learning. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is the last. This is the second finding of my research. Yeah, this is about the comparisons of the first year students and the third year students. In this case, I have applied a man with me test to see this difference between two groups, and this is the mean rank. Yeah, if only you could see. This is the mean rank of first year students and the third year students. So the yellow area is higher mean rank, yeah, the higher mean rank. In this case, based on the finding, the third students' belief are higher than the first year in many items. You can see on the screen, yeah, and it indicates that the third year students have more positive view of language learning. They have more positive belief. They have more positive insight about language learning. And you can see here only 9 items in which the students of the first year gain higher mean rank than those in the third year. So to see that these two groups are significant or not, I propose no hypothesis that there is no significant difference between two groups. So we have to look at the p-value here, the white area. This is the result. This is the item in which there is a significant difference on the students' belief from first year students and the third year students. It is because the asymmetric or the p-value less than 0.05. Yeah. So it is found for items that significant difference are found in 4 items. First 2 items are on the language aptitude, that children may thought that children is easier to learn English than adult. And the second, woman is better than man in learning English. So this is about language aptitude. Yeah, the opinion of the students about language aptitude. And the next is about if you are allowed to make mistake in the beginning, you will frequently make mistakes later. This is about uh, the nature of communication strategies. Yeah. Let me check. uh, this is about the communication strategies. Yeah, the communication strategies. So the third item is about communication strategies, and the last is about learning English is easy. Is the point in the point in difficulty in language learning. Okay, before we talk about this significant difference, let's talk about this idea of these items. Yeah, it is in line with age and gender in language learning. There are some ideas. Yeah, it is said in the questionnaire, and many students agree that younger or children are better than older in learning English. See, my students this have these perceptions, yeah, this belief. So it is assumption that younger L2 or foreign language learners do better than older learners. It was based on the critical period hypothesis. According to hypothesis, the students or the learners should acquire or learn the language in a fixed lifespan or milestone. Yeah, after puberty or after outside this lifespan, they will get difficulty in learning English. However, uh, later, researchers have failed to support this hypothesis in full. They have found that even those who begin learning a language late in life are capable of gaining high levels of proficiency. The only aspect of language sound to follow is of the critical period hypothesis is the acquisitions of accents. Younger learners will be have more native like accent. Well, in line with gender, many students believe that women learns language better than men. This is the idea that studies about individual language learner differences related to sex or biological or gender, socially constructed, have shown that females tend to show greater integrative motivations, yeah, and more positive attitudes to second language or foreign language, and use a wider range of learning strategies, particularly social strategies. And the studies of actual results suggest that females are typically superior to males, yeah, in nearly all aspects of language learning except listening vocabulary. And in the next research, according to Ludwig, boys choose a foreign language for practical reasons, whereas girls choose it because it seems interesting. What do you think about this? Maybe we have to make our research about gender and language learning. Okay, in the next item is about mistakes in language learning. The statement is do not make mistakes. Don't make mistakes. Do you agree with this statement? Yeah. Uh, Mistakes, however, in the classroom, mistakes are something inevitable. Yeah. The mistakes are an inseparable part of the learning process. Yeah. So by mistakes, we can learn. Yeah. because that making mistakes and having them corrected, it's something a good way to learn the language. However, for me myself, I don't. I do hope that my students can avoid mistakes in the classroom. Okay. Based on this statement, the only way to avoid language mistake will be to avoid speaking and writing in foreign language. And yeah, that will be bad. So mistakes are inevitable, and we can learn from the mistakes. Okay, talking about learning English is easy. Between the first year students and the third year student, we can infer that the third year students may have more positive belief, more positive insight about this statement because they already have joined many courses in line with learning English. Yeah, from the first, second, and for the first semester to up to now. So they have already experienced many things in line with learning English, and they get many things. So they think that learning English is easy. While for the students in the first year, they still get a little treatment from from the lecture. So they still think that learning English is not easy as it is said. Yeah, but however, talking about learning English is easy. Maybe for the student in the third year, for the students in the third year, they may have the same thing with uh, this that learning is not easy as it is said when they were in the first year. Yeah. So yeah, maybe they believe about language about statement learning English is easy is change. Yeah. Uh okay. Okay, what's to note about this about my research is these differences undoubtedly cause learners to develop various beliefs and attitude toward learning English. And given that beliefs have shaping roles in learning and teaching process, revealing learners' stand toward language can give a direction to the students, lecturers, and policymakers, in this case, language study and faculty, and it can provide an insight to all stakeholders. And uncovering the beliefs of the different group by knowing the beliefs of different group can especially it's useful for the lecture to obtain the similarities and the differences which could fill each and other different learning environment. So the students, the lecture or the teacher will make a different treatment to the students, and understanding of the students' belief can be in a better position to help the students. So after the lecture, understand the students believe about language learning, they will know what best for students, not only in their own perspective but in students perspective. And the first year students, it is suggestion. Yeah, the first year student should be encouraged to invest more time in learning English in its natural time. Yeah, so maybe they can change their opinion, they can change their perceptions about English learning, and they can change their belief about language learning. And the students' role in their own learning process should be emphasized. And the first students and the third year students can create a collaboration or cooperation to increase their learning. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is the last from me. Yeah, you are what you believe in. If you are a student, yeah, if you are somehow believe that you are not a good language learners, it is going to be very difficult to learn a language to the level you want. Yeah. So you have to have a positive belief about something you will learn, especially for English. And this is the last. Thank you very much for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Okay, Ibu Windy. Okay, I will stop share. I'm sorry.
Am I audible now?
Yes.
Okay.
Hello?
Hello.
Okay. Sorry for disconnect. Okay. Wow. Very excellent presentations tonight. Thank you so much for your excellent presentations, madam. And thank you so much for giving us your valuable time because you have done two presentations. Ladies and gentlemen, after her speech, please Thanksgiving on the basis of her speech and presentation. So amazing. Well, I remind you guys, please don't forget to share, tag, comments, support, and suggestions for this page. Okay, so let's start for the second speaker by Dr. Muhammad Taufik SSM. Ladies and gentlemen, as we know that he received his doctorate degree doctoral program in Universitas Negeri Makassar. It means State University of Makassar, majoring English Education Department. His paper research and academic experience on developing digital language learning materials and research area on English language and literature educations. Well, we invite Dr. Muhammad Taufik SSM to present entitled Developing Digital Language Learning Materials. Please give a warm welcome to Dr. Muhammad Taufik SSM. Hello, sir.
Okay, this connection
Hello,
is
sir.
not good. Okay. Hello, hello. Are you hear
Okay.
me?
Yes, I
Hello,
can hear you.
hello.
Hello, I can hear you, sir.
Good. Hello,
Hello.
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 It's clear.
Yes,
It's
is it
clear.
clear? Yes, is it clear?
It's clear, ma'am.
Yes, sir. Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah.
Is it clear?
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Well,
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
tonight, well, yeah. Well, tonight I want to explain. This clear, ma'am?
Yes,
Hello.
sir. Yes. Is it clear?
Okay. Okay, well, tonight I want to explain about developing digital language learning material. Well,
Hello, sir. Are you there? Hello?
Tawfiq sir got disconnection.
Okay, so we can change
No, he
Madam
got
Maulina
disconnection.
or
Ma'am Maulana is already here, but we have to wait for Sir Tawfiq.
Okay, okay.
Ma'am Maulana, do you have the mobile number of Sir Tawfiq? If yes, please make a call. Yes, Sir Tawfiq joined.
Maybe bad connections.
Yes, that's true.
Mhm. Hello, sir. Are you there?
Good evening, Ma'am. How are you?
Or maybe we can change, sir.
We should just wait for 5 minutes more.
Okay, okay.
Hello,
Hello, sir.
hello, good.
Yes, sir.
Hello,
Sir,
Hello.
sir.
your
Eh,
signal is not good. Your signal is not good.
yes, 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 yes.
Make
Sorry, sir.
make
Sorry,
sure.
sorry.
No problem. No problem, sir.
No problem,
Make sure that
sir.
in the internet is stable.
Yes.
Sorry, 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 sorry. I continue, sir. Well,
Definitely, sir. Definitely.
Okay.
sorry, sorry. Oh my God.
Tidak apa-apa, Pak.
Okay, okay. Well, ini mengganggu ini.
Okay,
Oh,
time. Yes,
wait. I want to
time is
share.
yours.
Yeah, sorry. Oh, where's... Okay, clear?
Yes.
Okay,
Eh, bisa digedein sedikit, Pak. Itu tampilannya.
okay. Wait. Okay,
Okay.
clear?
Yes. Yes, clear.
Okay.
Okay,
Well,
time
I
is yours.
continue. Yeah, okay. Sorry, ma'am. Three. Yeah, well, three phases are approaches digital learning. The first, restricted. Restricted is phase the essential learning interaction with the computer and learns a talk a keyboard with the feedback and write a wrong answer. And the second, often, the often. Approach digital learning. The second is often. Often is a phase involve creating interaction with a peer and using the computer in simulation, gameplay, in external and rating. If and the third, integrating in involving computer mediation communication, early internet and email uses, multimedia develop and frequent interaction with another uh, student. uh, in this era, we wish interact in interact uh, integration integrated the integrated, yeah. uh, because this era is all activity with student, we involving computer media communication in internet, in email, in multimedia develop in via always interaction with all students. This approach digital learning, revolution 5.0. Next, develop why the don't adopted the teaching done adaptive technology. Uh, this some causes some reason why the teacher don't adapt to technology. It's a low adapted technology. Maybe today we want to adapt to technology in especially development countries. Why? Because the first interactive of curriculum that needs to be covered during years. Yeah, the first curriculum is not not uh, uh, to the situation, to the rule, to the follow the situation and condition. Yeah, the curriculum, many curriculum now use the the traditional learning, but now condition now is is the society to move in uh, move in the modern era, or we are moved to, yeah, the next time concentrate, yeah, time constants, time square, then the next is a time square referencing ATC, uh, available the infrastructure available, yeah, and the most quality content, and the large and and lots of in class teaching support, and the participant teaching in decision making need professional teaching. Yeah. Well, well, the focus of, okay, I'm sorry. The future more. This chapter focus a tool only to the tool or material which can be said truly improve digital or media in design deliveries. For example, the use late corpora also dependent on computer technology create and use has equal impact on print material and will not be participant focused. Well, some example this emphasis improve digital reform. The first material which based on the idea invented campus, material with captures on scroll part, ACC comics and grammar halls episode, tools with introduction new forms work with tech, for example squeefy, materials work with design interaction touch screen, yeah. uh, some principle of digital learning and teaching material. The first, the teaching have the idea multimodal. You need the teaching have multimedia only, yeah. The new media, because not only for uh, we give some book, some assignment for the student, but a multiple model representative, yeah. In the media digital is have some uh, multi multiply of the models representative sounds, imagery, writing, moving, image, speech. The messages are popular the screen, yeah. So the teacher hope, I hope the teacher, we hope the teacher is more creativity, yeah, not only teaching but we are understood about multimedia, yeah, social media, and others, because the message in the messages they prefer in the skin. And the next, orchestra orchestration, the rule of teaching involve people participant and saving on orchestration, yeah. Participants can related directing direct participant. Yeah, the physical interaction with the result of material, took a thought, typing, most movement and gesture. Yeah, in the if we are uh, waiting, if we are favorably gesture, a movement or gesture, yeah, the need in the participant can be relative direct participant in the need in the digital language learning and teaching material. And teacher created language material is there's on of quit mantra in creation digital content for education, and the first get technical express to create it. It's beautiful, not a pedagogic effective. Yeah, get a teacher to create an education, but truly and so and weakness and those, uh, increasing technical competence many teaching professional, and increasing institute design, yeah. uh, and uh, yeah, and the teacher networking teaching in education, is education facilitator factory digital competence and award area, their personal professional life, uh, for forecasting micro blogging, yeah. That is networking teaching, yeah. Net Next, the teaching creating media, yeah. The next, effective engagement communication of classroom on center education principle under playing interest hybrid blended learning, yeah. And generally accepted hybrid, yeah, because is uh, the condition is not stable, uh, budget or net stability and condition, stability and knowledge, student. So we need the hybrid or blended learning. The hybrid and blended learning uh, is more effective learning than in others. Student learnings in this era, yeah. And the next, virtual learning environment, the teacher are possible for the reference content in which arrange formal, yeah, video, audio, presentation, document, animation, and the and etc. And alternative teaching contents, creates comes from the content creation on platform such creation, yeah. And the creation class Facebook page, and the next, the effective integration of to the process at two stages, yeah. In the effective, the first, in the effective integration, language classroom long term project in any student and interaction, to progress and three stage. The first, infusion, yeah. In infusion, the spins of the technology pedagogic practice with a learning passive objective tool, and the next interaction, yeah. The technology embedded in curriculum and attachment finds who can learn school, learns more activity, and the next, transformation the technology at a value learning process. That is progress on that is the need, the teaching need in digital learning, inclusion, interaction, and transformation. That is a goal of the the progress, to progress. Well, teacher option the creative exercise connecting the video, yeah. Uh, not only paper based, but the teacher option the creating digital material, the teaching option critical access connecting the video, and next uh, ready radical the redefinition concept, yeah, feedback, uh, pair back on the written text or presentation, yeah. Not on the teacher after give some question after the we give feedback, yeah. Prefer fair or fair feedback from the student, yeah. Yeah, you will give score and others, and user can simply view the hangers, yeah, change or edit student work, simulation, recording, voice commentary, respond question and adversaries, and sends complaints, complete package video file via email or web link, for example direct research in areas. And what is the student create digital material, the benefit student create benefit should afford to working digital material can be found creates learning automatically, yeah. Formulation and communication, practice social framework, and then area with hands of focus should develop in individual creating communication share and improvement, yeah. uh, should we are create the point the develops for the communication sharing, yeah. And the central effective implement should language teaching program is the more tasks, content, natural collaboration, team sprint. In others, attract great comprehensive interest student and teaching digital learning material area animation, yeah, voice tool and storytelling. Okay. And the next tool or material in material importance, mobile opportunity is exist digital highlight, and tool often ring function communication to multimedia capture sharing to personal information management. Mobile device great potential creative learning and language teaching. Uh, and Next important way, yeah, and the publisher, ELT publisher, our second decade and 21st century, and customer marketplace digital content yet by times request investment and put creative professional editing and publishing versus textbook with not only create for classroom single uh, interactive, yeah, interactive interface, yeah. So I think yeah, that is looking for digital bedroom digital develops twins concern. The first technology, yeah, looking to the future digital teaching and learning material. The first technology in in innovation can often outpace pedagogic consolidation. And the second, uh, the concerns digital media is have proven and potential irrelevant even on learning attitude with negative aspect we can be waves under capture errors and disease and all digital media. And the next, uh, my conclusion is the developers and users digital material need to be considered. The concerns are their strengths for technology use, add something different equals effective, and technology for non-pedagogic reason. That's all for me. Thank you very much for your times giving to me to presentation the develop digital media material. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, thank you so much for your marvelous presentations tonight, sir. And thanks for giving us valuable time because you have done two presentations tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, after his speech, please Thanksgiving on the basis of his speech and presentations. Once again, I remind you guys, please don't forget to share, tag, comments, and support this page. Okay, for the last, let's start for the third speaker by Dr. Maulina, SPD, MPD. Ladies and gentlemen, as we know that she was born in Ulu, Lakara, 7 October 1989. She is currently a lecturer at the English Education Study Program, Faculty of Teacher Training and Education by Muhammadiyah University of Kendari, Indonesia. She has been teaching English at this university since July 10, 2011. She has also been presenting some of her research articles at the TESOL conference in partnership with Universitas Negeri Makassar, or we can call State University of Makassar.
Unstoppable.
Hello, ma'am.
Hello, hello, sir.
Yeah, yeah. I think she got disconnection again with her
Yeah, she got
unstable internet
disconnection. Yeah.
connection. So no problem, ma'am. The stage is your now, so you can continue with
Oh,
your presentation, ma'am.
okay. Thank you so much. Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's an honor to be in this wonderful international webinar by Institute of Global Professional. And I should thanks to Sir Cosmic. Thank you so much, sir, for the chance. And thanks to Indonesian Education Share to Care. Thank you so much for the chance. And thanks to all the participants online, live participants in this room, and all the two previous eminent speakers. As the host has been introduced my name, I am actually Maulina from Universitas Muhammadiyah Kendari. Today I'm going to share the topic of my research, research I have conducted a year ago. So I would like to share the file. Okay, so all right. All right, so as I mentioned that this international webinar is by Institute of Global Professionals, the webinar number 119. The theme is research on English language teaching. And the topic I'm going to deliver today to share to you all this research is about the role of social media chat base in teaching English. So actually, everyone knows that the world nowadays is in the current, the position is at the pandemic time of the COVID-19 pandemic. Life actually, the in education field is facing a challenging time during the outbreaks. Fortunately, students, especially students in the higher education level, they have been familiar with the so-called social media in this digital era. So students, particularly higher education students, so get much assistance from social media during the time of the study. So I give the term here, study from home, SFH. Some scholars or some researchers have been stating that the social media are popular to college students and it's used for educational purposes in the classroom and beyond the classroom, to share relevant experiences to social care as well as the language in learning interest. So during the conflict and the crisis like today's COVID-19 pandemic phenomenon, social media is essential element for communication. So also social media allow emergency services to reach people easily to get to communicate, to interact, and to receive valuable information. In education setting, social media use is for information sharing. So in outside of the classroom, because most of the conditions of the learning situation nowadays, it's studying from home or online. Okay, so it's for sharing information, to communicate, and to have the connection and collaboration. So this actually also has been so the statement that I have been stated is based on the researchers or scholars like written on the slides, like Kimberly et al. 2015, Franklin et al. 2016, Sakir 2016, my research in 2019, and then Brown and Pedersen 2020. So about the just now I talk about the students learn to share, to get to connect, and to communicate during the study using the social media. One of that is that it's leading the students to have a kind of autonomy or independent, like having the self independent autonomy to learn. The autonomy to learn here is that the students could have the self involvement, self reflections, and the target language used in the distance learning. Because of this, the students are actually have a kind of a self understanding and self awareness, considering the time of the situation from last year to this year. Okay, so by having kind of independent way of learning, students actually have a way in order to support their study. So to support their study in during the time. So according to some scholars here, like Mayers et al. 2013, 2013, Kimberly et al. 2015, also a research by Hammery et al. 2017, I conclude their statements that social media are relevant for individual learning and collective knowledge constructions for independent informal learning environment. Okay, so all right. Here is the things that I was curious to see and to answer the role of the social media by having these two questions or these two objectives. So actually, in the COVID-19 pandemic has changed the higher education students' position as the decision maker in their study. So actually, before pandemic, we know that educators, teachers, lecturers, tutors need to develop a better understanding of learners by actually considering the suitable media technologies in their study, and this it's continued by the students to have this role, because of they have actually the big role. They have their kind of to be a decision maker in their life of study. So researcher Skara 2020 said that transactional, so it's in terms of the distance learning of using the social media, that learning significantly predicts that the learner outcomes of perceived learning and satisfactions. Also, it's supported by the some statements that social media brings a new form of communication in shaping everyday cultural values, knowledge, and the third one is social structure. So having this okay, so having this so having this things that I actually in the study curious to see how actually this education students perspective on the social media as its role to support their learning, and then what kind of actually the English skills improve, because as it's been known that there are four major English skills: listening, speaking, reading, and writing. So from these four English skills, so what are actually the most English skills or these language skills is improved using the social media? So, talking about the method of having the answers of the curiosity I mentioned previously, actually the data of this study is gained through the online survey. And then I asked the EFL teachers from 3 universities in the Sulawesi region, Indonesia, and then to spread. So I asked the teachers, the lecturers, to ask the students to spread the link to their students. So because they are the EFL teachers, so automatically their students are the EFL learners. So the survey actually the main instrument, and then there is also the supporting many other instruments to know the answers of this study. And it is to figure out the mentioned curiosity answers. And then there were 147 students voluntarily participated in filling the online survey in the distributed. And then there were okay, so there were 90% students from bachelor degree, and then 7% students from master degree, and the least one is 3% students from doctoral degree. So it's actually the phenomenon in especially in Sulawesi region university, that the majority of the enrolling students in the universities is female students. It's also proved here in this study that 76% students are female were the majority respondents of filling the survey. And then it's followed by male students, 24%. Actually, the age of these respondents is range from 21 to 30s above. So because it's from the bachelor degree to doctoral degree respondents. And all these respondents gave the same perspectives because the statements are general for the purposes using the social media, and then they gave the same perspective in filling out the survey, and then the results it's gonna be described in the following presentations like this one. So there are some research results of this paper, but some research papers results can be further explored for you, further do the research to conduct this kind of research, because I know that even we have the same research title, but we apply or we do the research in different setting, situations, city, countries, probably there will be some new results and and that will give contribution or information contribution to the readers globally. So this is just the context of this research result is in the context of Sulawesi region, Indonesia. So first of all, actually talking about social media used to study. So this is the main item of this to know that the role of the social media used in the teaching learning English as a foreign language in Indonesia, Sulawesi region. So students actually in this study have been familiar with some social media, such as based on the slides, ladies and gentlemen, you could have a look at list of the social media that I have observed. These students have used this kind of social media. First of all, there is a called there is a Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, Line, LinkedIn, WhatsApp, Instagram, Telegram, Snapchat, and Pinterest. I mentioned this is not based on the order which is the highest or the most used or the most familiar or popular social media, but it's based on its rank. But have a look at here. Actually, from these 10 kind of platform of social media, it's resulted here that there are three most used social media in communicating, do the oral and written chat based in English. The first one is WhatsApp. Here, the result is that WhatsApp showed, participants who are using WhatsApp, students who were using this WhatsApp or this platform is 81%. So the participant I mentioned before is 147%. So 81%. And then it's followed by the YouTube, 77%, and then Instagram, 57%. So actually, in daily life during the outbreak, so students have been is frequently to communicate and study English independently. So actually, my finding is in line with the research conducted by some researchers in one particular research. So Shamari, Parkes, and Edlington in 2017, their findings said that WhatsApp, because my WhatsApp here is the most in this study is the most used to have a communication, both oral and written chat based. So they state that WhatsApp is particularly popular because it enhanced the capability allow the users to interact in variety of ways. For example, WhatsApp can allow the users to exchange text messages, a one-to-one or even in a group conversations. So also students actually could share documents and a variety of multimedia types as well as making voice or video calls. So, for instance, another things that the students could have could do in the social media platforms like YouTube, they could watch and listen. So they are listening, watching the English videos to improve their vocabulary, particularly for language vocabulary learning improvement. So another things that in the Instagram, so they could have the connections and communication like other social media have to have a kind of a continuity to study event. It's in the pandemic situation like now, and then it's actually raises the students' awareness to survive and keep going the learning. My research is in line with the research is in line with the research by a scholar called Franklin in 2016. So he said that through social media, students promote themselves for learning sustainability and continuity, and also to have a kind of the community to support each other in the kind of a peer learning. So this is the second one. the reason why the students use this particular social media platform. So this current research actually reveals that the students use particular social media to connect and to communicate to improve their English skills independently from home. Reasons using that social media such as the platform is easy to use. So 123 out of 147 students said that they use this particular social media because of this social media or this platform is easy to use. And then 76 out of 147 students said that this social media has good features, for language learning. And also 67 out of 147 participants said that this particular social media enables them to connect fast, even though the internet connection is limited. So they could have a kind of, even they couldn't do the oral or do the audio or video calls, but at least they could have sharing, do the talk in English in the way of having a chat or written chat. Okay. So, and the last one is that they said it's the particular social media has the cost low. I mean, to have a call and to have the text messaging. So, ladies and gentlemen, so from 147 respondents, 123, as I mentioned these in the slides there, they think that students actually, so teachers could see this process by having kind of, they enter the group, they, for instance, in the WhatsApp group, they are in a group to see the progress of the students, the participations, the willingness to talk, and then they got a teacher also could guide their students in there, or even do ask the students to have a kind of giving ask students to promote their English skills through the video talk in the YouTube, for instance. So my research actually also supported by the one of the research in 2013 that explained that the learning is solely lead in the variation of the real quality, reliability, and suitability of the content of the social media use. So here is some ways in using social media to study independently in my study. So the case is in my study and the context is in the Sulawesi region, Indonesia. So based on this survey, I found that 117 respondents out of 147 watch and listen to English video through the social media during the COVID-19 pandemic. So other self-directed English learnings occur during the pandemic, such as texting, video calling, audio calling, picture sharing, and so on. So my research is also this one. So this case is also in line with the research by two researchers, and then they have one particular research in doing that research by Wang and Shen in 2019. They said that students learn in the formal of a setting to be more flexible, more interesting, and more interactive than in the way that it used to be. Okay. So, space that the social media presents in the outbreak period, reducing students' of fear, since the connections are continuously run. They feel like they are not alone, even though they couldn't go out and see their colleagues in the university, in the campus, but they feel like they are still connected. And then take another example from the result of the my survey here is that 50 respondents tend to have pictures and post them to social media by describing in English. And then that's one way that those higher education students control the learning, the self-learning, and minimize the mental problem. Also stay motivated during the study from home or SFH. The self-directed activities in improving the English learning beyond the formal setting, like nowadays condition, enable them to heal, exhale, inhale, something like that, to promote the autodidactic activity. So there are 8 ways here in the using the social media. So it's written in the slides there. They could have the, but here the role of the teacher here is to support, to guide, and to always motivate. So they could run and they feel like they are not alone. So they still increase their ability in learning the English as a foreign language. Next is about the English skills improved during the COVID-19 pandemic using the social media. As I mentioned in the first part of the presentation, I said that there are 4 main language learning, 4 main language skills like listening, speaking, reading, and writing. So actually it shows here in that higher education students in the Sulawesi region, Indonesia, do more oral communication during the outbreaks. So they do the audio calling, video calling in English, or even do the voice notes recordings, and then share the recordings, and then they couldn't have the interactions during the conversation. So it shows here that 37.4% of students improve their speaking skills. The rest improve skills such as listening skills, 29.3%, and then reading skills, 17%, and then it's followed by the writing skills, 16.3%. It seems here that using this social media, do the oral audio, video calling, voice notes, is much easier comparing with the other way in improving the other skills. But at least actually they do these all activities to improve those 4 skills, even though the most activities is that the speaking one. So actually, ladies and gentlemen, a distance oral communication with colleagues actually enable college students to connect ideas. They could share the positive attitudes, and also they could develop language learning autonomy, as I mentioned previously. So actually, this approach could result in a self-healing and then protection mentally during the outbreaks. Besides, I could say that the higher education students play self-control in self-encouraging their cognitive independence and social interdependence simultaneously, so continuously. Also, I could say here that higher education students studying independently during the study from home improve for English language skills, listening, speaking, reading, and writing through the social media. Oh, sorry. So here is also another result, that the specific method in learning English skills via social media during study from home. So talking about the self-regulating, self-independent, something like that. Also, I call it here one thing, that self-mitigation. Why self-mitigation? Because they were aware of having that opportunity. They could have that opportunity from their hands and then from their mobile phones through the social media to improve their English skills. So self-mitigation here in English, in developing their English skills through the social media, actually have the ability to enable the students to self-manage, the needs in English language learning. So based on my survey here, I found that I didn't write down here the percentages. I write down only the statements. So I found that 69.2% of the students or respondents agreed to get in touch with the friends through the audio and video calling through social media. And then one of the social media used commonly for the audio and video calling is the at low cost price. For instance, WhatsApp. Um, WhatsApp actually could encourage students to have the autonomous and peer learning and then to develop their learning communities. Ladies and gentlemen, students are interested in reading new posts as well in their in English. So the new post, the news posted in social media like Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, something like that. They are in. They have the kind of willingness to read that post. So through reading, actually, they enrich their insights toward the English vocabularies and also knowledge. Their vocabulary is improved. Their knowledge about the global news also uh, giving them insightful uh, information. So here, I could also say here, based on the survey, the 64.6% of the respondents like to do the listening and watching English audios and videos. One of the most one of the most audio and video content of the social media providers is in the YouTube. So this the YouTube as the one of the social media platform actually plays a supporting role in enabling students to explore the learning materials in independent online learning. So ladies and gentlemen, I could actually give the conclusions of this research that the social media, from the findings I have presented, that the social media plays a crucial role in teaching and learning English at this current days. So even if you work from the study from home. One thing before I end my presentation, for all of you amazing people, good people online, and then all the eminent speakers, I would like to have to share this positive motivation. Take your time and challenge yourself in this rapid development technology era. Thank you so much. Thank you for the the chance. Okay, thank you.
Okay. Okay, thank you so much for your marvelous presentations tonight, madam. You have done to share your knowledge. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, please Thanksgiving on the basis of her speech and presentations. And I'm so sorry for the mistakes before. Once again, I remind you guys, please don't forget to share, tag, comments, and give suggestions for this page. So, ladies and gentlemen, for the next sessions, we open quiz competitions. I will guide you, and then we open questions and answer later.
Can you hear me, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
Okay, before we move to the next part of Q&A, uh, I want to share something about two announcements. First of all, we will change our all certificates pattern from next webinar. This is the
Okay.
first announcement. And second announcement is that I saw that some of deadly fan of IGP in the comment box. Some of deadly fan like Marsha and Eke, Odhikari, lots of deadly fan are in the comment section. So it's a request. If you want to support us directly, then you can join us with our team. So no problem for that. If you want to support us, so you can join us in our team. Ma'am, you can continue now.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, here join the quiz until 193%. Please join this quiz. Wow, 2009. Okay, for now, 2000 and 16, 17. Wow, please join, guys. Okay, I will. Okay, here the questions is that the most valuable or effective learning mode is viewing, language, observations, or experience. Please text your answer, guys. Okay, here experience until 65%. Who is winner? Okay, congratulations, Kristen. You are win. Okay, next questions. Okay, here, according to our English language teacher, the best learning is only possible through 4CS. True or false? Check your answer, guys. Okay, here true until 65%. Who is the winner? Okay, congratulations, Kristen. You are win again. Okay, next questions. Approaches to language learning and teaching focused on the cognitive processes of the learner. A. Zone of proximal development. B. Communicative language teaching. C. Social cultural perspective. Or D. Cognitive approaches. Okay, it's through cognitive approaches until 44%. Who is winner, guys? Wow, congratulations again, Mr. Kristan. Okay, once again. Teaching methods that are successful with native English speakers are successful with ELLS to A. True, B. False. Take your answer, guys. Okay, true is true until 85%. Oh, false, false. False is true until 50%. Who is winner again? Oh my God, congratulations. Oh, congratulations, Mary. Okay, once again, learning English fast is important to be successful. A, true. B, false. Check your answer, guys. Okay, 50-50. True or false? Okay, the true is false. So, who is winner? Congratulations, Mary. You are win again. Okay, next. Strong first language and learning English as a second language. A. Simultaneous language learner. Or B. Sequential language learner. Check your answer, guys. Okay, so what is the false? The true. Simultaneous language learners until 57 and oh, that's true is sequential language learner and the response is 43%. Congratulations, Mary. You are win again. Okay, next questions. The quality of learning rarely exceeds the quality of teaching. A, true. B, false. Check your answer. Okay, true until 63%, false until 37% response. So, what is the true, guys? Oh, the true is the true until 63%. Who is winner? Oh, Mary, congratulations again, Mary. You are win again. Okay, next questions. The end goals of teaching and learning English are A. Applications of principles and strategies. B. Communicative competence and multiliterate literacies. C. Linguistic and discourse competence. Or D. Understanding and learning content areas. Check your answer, guys. And the truth is communicative competence and multiliteracies. Response until 47%. Who is winner again? Oh, congratulations, Kristen. You are win. Okay. Next, why is motivation so important for English language learners? A. Because they are unwilling to learn. B. So that language acquisition is clear and accomplished. C. So that students can work with others well. Or D. So that they can learn something. Check your answer, guys. Okay, the truth is B. So that language acquisition is clear and accomplished. The response until 72%. So who is winner? Who is winner, guys? Wow, congratulations again, Kristen. You are win. Okay, next. What kind of programs are best for teaching English language learners? A. Direct instructions. B. Explicit instructions. C. Systematic approach. Or D. Rote learning. Take your answer, guys. Okay, so what is the true? The true is C. Congratulations, Kristen. Okay, congratulations for the first, second, and third win. You are great participants. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, for the next sessions, we open questions and answer. Please type your name, country, and who is the questions addressed to the first, second, or third speaker, and then speakers will answer it. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, for the next sessions, we open questions and answer. Please type your name, country, and who is the questions addressed to the first, second, or third speakers, and the speakers will answer it. Okay, for the first questions. Hi, I am Menshi from the Philippines to Dr. Rahmawati. You have said that female are more motivated to learning English than male, were they able to sustain it until the end of the school year? Another question is, have you observed who is more anxious in speaking English, male or female? Thank you. Thank you, Menshi. Dr. Rahmawati, time is yours.
Okay, is
Oh,
my voice clear? Is it
yes,
my
madam.
for okay? Okay, based on the questions, uh, have you observed? Okay, in line with my own classroom, in line
Mhm.
with the engagement of female and male in my class, especially in my speaking class, more female students tend to be more active than male. Yeah. Uh, yeah, they tend to be more talkative, yeah, talkative during the classroom process. However, I don't have any statistical uh, statistical evidence about this. I just observe my students about this then, and based on my observations, it is found that female students of my class tend to be more talkative than male students. Yeah, maybe because they have more positive vibes and positive engagement, positive motivate, tend to be more motivated to speak, while for uh, male students, uh, they tend to be silent during the classroom.
Okay, thank you so much for the great answer, madam. Then, for the
Okay.
second question, for Mom Rahmawati again. The
Okay.
question is, what are some socio-emotional issues that ELL learners face? Time is yours, madam.
Okay. In line with socio-emotional issues, I think it is about the interactions uh, between the students, male and female students, and also between the students and the lecturer in the classroom. The interaction is it is about their attitude toward their teacher and toward their friends during the classroom. And maybe because my class or my campus is Islamic University, which is most of students are used to be students at pesantren, or
Mhm.
what's that, Islamic boarding school. So they tend to keep distance, yeah, maintain their distance between in their interaction to either to their lectures or their friends, especially for male or female students.
Okay, thanks for the answer, madam. Next questions. Okay, for the next questions, from Thailand, Philippines, to the third speaker. How do social media influence learners to become fluently understand, speak, and write English language? Time is yours, doctor.
Okay, thank you so much. It's nice to see you,
Yes.
Miss Madria, Sherlyn Flores Madria. Nice questions. How do the social media influence students to become fluent in understanding and speaking, also writing English language? In my case here, make the teaching of this language as the habit, since because they know that the social media is, I mean, they are familiar with this kind of social media, so they think they could have an opportunity or even broader opportunity to have the exploration in understanding, even in speaking and also writing in English. So because they think they make it as the habit or the daily routines to read new posts in English, to speak, even it's a very daily speaking, but at least they do the uh, kind of they do the interactions, and also they write in a chat box in English. So I think social media could influence the learners' ability to improve their speaking, writing, and also improve their vocabulary, as well as understanding the reading informations in English. Thank you so much for the questions.
Okay, thank you so much for the great answer, madam. Okay, next questions from Ria, Philippines, to Mom Dr. Maulina. The question is, what is the best media platform to be used in teaching in this time of pandemic? Time is yours, madam.
Okay, it's nice to see you, Miss Kalisa Kesila. Okay. Um, you are asking about this platform or media, social media platform, yeah?
Yes.
The social media platform to be used in the teaching during the pandemic. Uh, in my context here, so I couldn't actually make it broader, general in the global context. But let me tell you a bit. Okay, let me tell you about the examples in my context here that the best, one of the best, okay, I could say one of the best social media platform to be used to teach during the pandemic is, in my experience, is WhatsApp. I have actually made a book and also provide learning material for the WhatsApp based daily conversations, and it's transformed into the context of the social media, the WhatsApp. So they do the daily conversation in that platform. They have the small interview, short dialogues, even the pay work activities in written form, or even in a conversation through the audio or video calling. So that is uh, one of the best. So actually, in my context, but if we take and put it in other context, maybe, or in other situation, university, you probably have that particular social media you could have and then use in your classroom. Thank you
Okay.
so much.
Okay, thank you, madam. Okay, for the next questions, for Dr. Maulina again. The question is how can chatbots help educators in delivering their lessons? Time is yours, madam.
Oh, thank you so much. It's Miss Oliga, Manolita Ramos Oliga. Thank you. It's nice to see you. How could actually the chat box, like the let me have take the examples, the Facebook Messenger, the GC. So in the GC or in a Facebook group Messenger, there is the chat box there. I have the experience I could share here that I just ran the program, a complementary program in the Philippines. I taught the English education department in the University of NUST in the Philippines, and we have one way in communicating and help my students in the teaching. That course is TEFL, Teaching English as a Foreign Language. So actually, we set the rule that in the chat box we use English all the times, and then we use English all the times, and then we ask the questions. Students could also respond their partners or their colleagues or fellow students to do the to answers their to give comments, and then teachers lead and facilitate and even motivate their students. So actually, there are lots of ways in helping the students through the one of the platform of the social media chat box. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so
Okay,
much.
thank you, madam. Okay, for the next questions, from Nomer Francia, PhD. For the first speaker, the question is how best can the language skill be measured for proficient learners? For Madam Fitria, time is yours.
Okay, thank you for the questions, Nomer Francia. How best can language skill be measured for proficient learners? Okay, in line with language skills, of course, every language skill have different method or different technique to be measured. Yeah, it depends on what
Yes.
skill do you want to be measured. If in the speaking and of course in every language skill we have to make rubric, yeah, to measure in what level the students are to measure in what level the students are. Yeah, for example, in speaking you have many rubrics. One of them is several. You can fluency or accuracy of the pronunciation and accuracy of the context and the idea of the speaking, the contents. Yeah, and then
Yes.
for example, in writing, it's not merely about the grammar, but it can be what's that? the substance or the content, yeah, of the writing itself. And for what's again, reading, yeah, you have every of course every language skill have different features or have different rubric to be measured. It depends on what skill do you want to measure. Okay, thanks. Yeah, thank you so
Okay,
much.
thank you for the great answer, madam. Next questions? Okay, for Dr. Maulina, the question is how we can motivate students who are not interested in English language through social media? Can you give some ideas, ma'am? Thank you so much. God bless you and IGP. Thank you, Romalyn. Time is yours, madam.
Okay, thank you. Uh, Miss Rodrigo,
Oh,
that's
Romalyn.
a good question. How actually we motivate our students who are not willing to learn English through the social media or who have no interest in the English learning. But through social media, I could give you one of examples. In my experience, I first of all give kind of a personal approach. What I call here personal approach is that um, praising our students even they make mistakes. So first of all, don't even never judge your students or not judge the students in the first place or in the first time they give you their answers. So you could praise them so they have a kind of motivation to 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 know that, oh yeah, I am appreciated. So through the social media they could start writing simple sentences, ask simple questions in a chat box or in a written chat, or even do the record their voice and ask question in a simple one, but then try to encourage every single time, encourage the students. So when they make mistakes, encourage them and show them the right answers and then do the encouragement. And yes, I gave you the examples of the personal approach. The personal approach actually I have proved in my university and my students here in Indonesia and students abroad. One is in the University of NEUST, and we still have a kind of a connections until nowadays. And never in life judge the people they are wrong, but give motivation, give praise. Thank you so much. That's nice question. Thank you, Paul.
Okay, thank you for the great answer, madam. Next questions. Any else? Okay, from Tarlin. The to our second speaker. Okay, this question for second speaker. The question is what digital platform we can use in teaching so that the learning becomes effective? Time is yours, doctor.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much for
Yes, sir.
the Charlian Prot Madria. Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you for
For
your
his Madria.
yeah Madria. Yeah. Thank you for your uh, question. Uh, I use in the teaching because uh, many students the best platform uh, in the student development countries is Google Classroom is
Mhm.
in I use Google Classroom to the learns, yeah, to to the use in the in the digital learning, yeah.
Mhm.
uh, and uh, and I use WhatsApp to communicate in to the student. So I think that is effective because uh, uh, and many student is is not established connection area, yeah, because we are live in the others the others district in the north, a good connection. So I use Google Classroom and uh, WhatsApp to be a tool in the communication and learns with a student. I think it's thank you, ma'am.
Okay, thank you so much for the great answer, Doctor. Next questions from Normal Relevant. Again, for the third speaker from Dr. Maulina. The question is, what are the variants of ontology and epistemology? Time is yours, Doctor.
Okay. Thank you so much. But the questions is not my, I mean, the ontology and the epistemology. In what way? In the social media? I didn't explain about ontology and epistemology. Yes.
Okay, for the next questions. Okay, from Janet. For the third speaker, the question is social media has a big role in the learners. How long do we need to expose our learners in using different social media platforms? Time is yours, madam.
Oh, thank you so much. This is nice questions. Thank you, Miss Parenapo. Um, about how long do we need to expose our learners to get in touch with the social media? It depends. So I couldn't say a particular time how long, but it depends based on the students in each different situations, in different universities or schools. So in my case, actually, in my case, there are some. So we have the LMS. Also, we use the social media to teach the students. So it usually takes a semester times, but a semester time is actually letting the students that during studying from the in the social media, we let students to follow the rule of um, do the interactions in the social media. So I couldn't say the particular time how long, but in the case that I am experiencing is in a semester period. So I could use this particular social media for one semester, and then I could also try another social media to see whether this social media has the same role and then the same purposes in assisting and supporting students to learn, like learning from home in this current day. Yeah. Thank you so much. That's a good question, po.
Okay, thank you so much for the great answer, madam. Okay, I think enough. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I will give you procedure about how to get certificates. Here, today's program name, Research on English Language Teaching and Learning. Certifications link, you can click, and then for the instructions, certificate coder not required, and then certifications link now available in a comment box and a pinned comment. And then if you are not able to click this link, please browse www.eduigp.com for certificate. Here is not. If you are new, create your account. If you have an account, then log in. After that, find the seminar title and get enrolled. After you enrolled, click the Get Your Certificate button and automatically it will download your certificate. It's auto-downloadable, so check your file manager. If nothing, there, so please update your browser or try with another browser or try it from a laptop or a desktop. Okay, here certifications. Browse www.eduigp.com. Please type this title: webinar research on language English language teaching and learning, and then you can get certificate code not required. Okay, you can verify your certificate here. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, here our next webinar: Way of Success from Classroom to Workplace. June 28, 2021. Don't forget, guys. Okay, here for the first speaker, Miss Daniela. The second speaker, Mr. Leonilo. And the third speaker, Dr. Atul. Okay, upcoming webinar, June 30, 2021, from Emmanuel Fdel for the first speaker, and for the second speaker from Geraldine A. Santos LPT. And the theme is Teaching English for Students with Special Needs. Remember, June 30, 2021 at 6 until 8 p.m. Okay, upcoming webinar again, July 2 July 2021. The theme is Missions, Magic, Endless Learning. Don't forget, guys. Okay, next upcoming webinar for July 2021. The theme is Different Modalities and Assessment Tools in Teaching Math. Please note, for July 2021 at 6 until 8 p.m. UTC plus 6. The first speakers from Tabamo from Philippines, and the second speaker from Wela, Madam Wela, and the third speaker from Sapwai. They are from Philippine speaker. Okay, upcoming webinar again. Oh no. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to thank you all of my deep heart for attending to webinar today. Hopefully we can learn something new and we can implement for this life. Please leave a review or a comment on our page. If you learn something or we help a little bit, please spread the information with your friends. Thank you so much for your attention. Wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Stay happy, stay safe, and see you next time.